All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Gunmala Kapoor. The headlines. Political crisis in Karnataka further deepens after two independent MLAs withdraw their support to the Kumaraswamy government. Speaker to take up resignations of 13 rebel Congress and JDS MLAs today. UAE Foreign Minister to call on Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi this evening. Rain lashes several parts of the country, disrupting normal life. US slaps new duties on steel from China and Mexico. And in cricket, India to take on New Zealand in the first semi-final of the ICC World Cup in Manchester this afternoon. The political crisis in Karnataka has further deepened after two independent MLAs, H. Nagesh and R. Shankar, withdrew their support to the H.D. Kumaraswamy government. The two independents flew to Mumbai to join the 13 rebel Congress and JDS legislators. They also extended their support to the BJP. The strength of the Congress-JDS coalition in the 224-member assembly has come down to 103. The opposition BJP now has the support of 107 MLAs. The party has demanded the resignation of Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy, saying that the government has lost its majority. Karnataka Assembly Speaker K. Ramesh will take up the resignations of the 13 rebel Congress and JDS MLAs today. In a last-ditch effort to save the coalition government, all Congress and JDS ministers resigned yesterday to enable a cabinet reshuffle so that the rebel MLAs could be inducted into the cabinet. The rebel MLAs, however, have rejected the offer. Our correspondent has filed this report.
The 34-member cabinet headed by Kumaraswamy has 33 vacant positions, 22 of the Congress and 11 of the JDS. Siddaramaiah has asked the rebels to return with a promise to accommodate them in the cabinet. The Congress has called for a legislative party meeting under Siddaramaiah today with a warning that absence of MLAs will be viewed seriously. The Speaker is also going to look into the resignation letters submitted by 13 MLAs. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
UAE Foreign Minister Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan will call on Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi today. Earlier, the visiting dignitary held talks with the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar yesterday. During their meeting, the two leaders discussed relations in the political, economic, investment, trade, energy and other sectors and aspects of developing and enhancing the existing ties in all fields. Both sides stressed the importance of combating extremism and terrorism in all forms. They also exchanged views on regional and international developments and other issues of common interest, especially developments in Syria, Libya and Yemen. The two leaders also expressed keenness to strengthen their friendship and cooperation based on strong bilateral and strategic relations. The UAE Foreign Minister arrived in New Delhi on Sunday night on a 3-day visit to India. American aerospace major Boeing has announced the arrival of two new heavy-lift Chinook helicopters for the Indian Air Force at the Mundra port in Gujarat. The Indian Air Force has ordered 15 Chinooks and the first 4 helicopters arrived in February. The IAF had placed the order in 2015 along with 22 Apache attack helicopters. Boeing India said the advanced multi-mission helicopter will provide the armed forces unmatched strategic airlift capability. The CH-47 Chinook is an advanced multi-mission helicopter and has unsurpassed ability to deliver heavy payloads to high altitudes. The government says there have been 1,299 ceasefire violations on the Indo-Pak border till June this year. In 2018, the ceasefire violation stood at 1,629 during the same period. This information was given by Minister of State in the Defence Ministry, Sripad Naik, in a written reply in the Rajya Sabha yesterday. He said appropriate retaliation to the ceasefire violations, as required, has been carried out by the Indian Army. The issue of all ceasefire violations and infiltration has been taken up with the Pakistani authorities at an appropriate level through the established mechanisms of hotlines, flag meetings, Directorate Generals of Military Operations talks, as well as diplomatic channels between the two countries. Labour Minister Santosh Kumar Gangwar has said that the government is committed to eradicating the problem of child labour from all parts of the country. In a written reply in the Lok Sabha yesterday, the minister said more than 3,20,000 children have been rescued from various forms of child labour during the last 5 years. He said the government has been implementing the National Child Labour Project schemes since 1988 for rehabilitation of child labour. The Women and Child Development Ministry is also implementing the Child Protection Services for care, protection, rehabilitation and reintegration of children in different circumstances. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Intermittent heavy rain lashed some parts of Mumbai and its suburbs last night, although it has taken a breather since early this morning. The Met Department has said that heavy rainfall is likely to occur in the city and suburbs over the next 24 hours. Our Mumbai correspondent has filed this report.
In the wake of IMD's heavy rain forecast in Mumbai and adjoining places for the next 24 hours, the Mumbai police have urged people to take precautions and ensure safety. However, despite intermittent heavy rains lashed some parts of the city last night, the Disaster Management Cell of Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation said that there were no reports of waterlogging in the city this morning and suburban train services were running normal. City Jane, AR News, Mumbai.
Rain also occurred in parts of Rajasthan in Ajmer, recording a maximum of 8 centimeter rainfall. The weatherman has predicted light to moderate rain for the next 24 hours. In many parts of Himachal Pradesh received light to very heavy rainfall in the past 24 hours. Dharamshala received very heavy rainfall of 119 mm, while Kasoli received 111 mm. Uttar Pradesh has been experiencing widespread rain for the past 24 hours. Farmers have started sowing paddy in most parts of the state. More from our correspondent.
Heavy rains and waterlogging at different places in state capital Lucknow caused traffic snags during evening rush hours. Districts like Mau, Hapur, Kaushambi, Mirzapur and Jhansi received heavy to very heavy rains. Many other districts of Tarai and eastern part of the state are also witnessing continuous rains from last night. The monsoon's progress will help farmers to accelerate sowing of paddy and other crops, which has been lagging due to a delay in the arrival of monsoon rains. Met Department has predicted heavy to very heavy rains in next 2 days in state. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
Chandigarh, the joint capital of Haryana and Punjab, received 29.1 mm rainfall, bringing respite to the residents from the hot and humid weather conditions. The city recorded a maximum temperature of 35.6 degrees Celsius. In Arunachal Pradesh, heavy rain has disrupted normal life at many places. A report from our correspondent.
In West Kameng district, a 23-year-old lady is reported missing after an RCC bridge was washed away by flash flood in Chingchung Administrative Subdivision yesterday afternoon. Landslides and flash flood triggered by torrential rain have also caused traffic into standstill in many parts of the district. The road connecting district headquarters Bomdila and Chamiri Administrative Center has been snapped due to landslide. Meanwhile, West Kameng District Administration has closed down the Balipara, Chardua, Tawang Road and banned entry of vehicles from Assam in Balukpung and Tenga area in the district. Rakesh Dole, AIR News, Itanagar.
The Uttar Pradesh government has set a target of becoming a $1 trillion economy in the coming years so that the state can contribute in fulfilling Prime Minister Narendra Modi's dream of expanding the country's economy to a $5 trillion economy. Inaugurating the annual workshop of the Regional Agriculture Science Centres in the Kumarganj Agriculture University in Ayodhya, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath said that the agriculture sector of the state can play a major role in achieving the target of a $1 trillion economy. He said that the state has the potential to feed the entire world. In Jammu and Kashmir, nearly 110,000 yatris have paid obeisance at the holy cave shrine of Amarnath during the first 8 days of the annual pilgrimage. A report from our correspondent.
Yatra Base Camp both at Nunavan in Pahalgam and Baltal in Sonemarg replicates diverse Indian culture and age-old tradition of brotherhood and communal harmony in Kashmir Valley. So far, Yatra amid favorable weather conditions, elaborate arrangements by the government and warm cooperation by the local people is progressing smoothly and Yatris are very satisfied. Mushtaq Ahmad Tantre, AIR News, Srinagar.
The United States has announced fresh duties on some Mexican and Chinese steel goods, saying these countries help their manufacturers with unfair subsidies. The decision comes 2 months after President Donald Trump agreed to lift tariffs on steel and aluminium from Mexico and Canada after the three nations agreed on a revised North American Free Trade Pact. The action was in response to a grievance lodged in February by U.S. steel producers. In its preliminary findings, the U.S. Commerce Department found that Mexican and Chinese exporters of fabricated structural steel benefited from subsidies ranging from 30% to 177%. Iran has breached a uranium enrichment cap set by a troubled 2015 nuclear deal and has warned Europe against taking retaliatory measures. Surpassing the cap and reaching 4.5% enrichment, Iran's Atomic Energy Organization spokesman Behrouz Kamalvandi announced that this level of purity completely satisfies the power plant fuel requirements of the country. The move came more than a year after Washington pulled out of the landmark accord between world powers and Tehran. The European Union said it was extremely concerned by the development and called on Iran to reverse all activities that are inconsistent with its deal commitments. Iran's foreign ministry warned against any escalatory response. Ministry spokesman Abbas Mousavi did not specify what the final step would be, but Iran's President Hassan Rouhani has warned previously that Iran could leave the nuclear accord. In the ICC Cricket World Cup, two-time champion India will look to brush aside New Zealand and book a final berth when the two sides face off in the first semi-final at the Old Trafford in Manchester today. The match will begin at 3 p.m. Indian time. A report.
India, whose league stage match against New Zealand was washed out, have just suffered one defeat against England at the World Cup so far. India ended on top of the 10 teams at the group stage, making it strong favourites to beat the Black Caps. On the other hand, New Zealand qualified for the semi-finals on the basis of net run rate. They had lost 3 games against Pakistan, England and defending champions Australia. The second semi-final will be played between England and Australia at Birmingham on Thursday. Final will be played on Sunday in London. Ankush Vats, Sports Desk.
In Wimbledon tennis, world number 1 Novak Djokovic, second-seeded Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal and Kei Nishikori have entered the men's singles quarterfinals. Djokovic breezed past French rookie Hugo Humbert in straight sets 6-3, 6-2, 6-3 to set up a meeting with David Goffin in the quarterfinals. Nishikori will face Federer in his campaign to reach the Wimbledon semi-finals for the first time. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Tanvi Taneja.
Thank you, Gudmala. All the ministers of the Karnataka government resigning to facilitate a reshuffle is the lead in several newspapers. The Hindu writes, Congress JDS ministers resign, reshuffle lightly, Speaker to decide on resignations today. An Asian Age headline reads, Aghast Karan Singh seeks fast selection of Congress President. Veteran Congress leader Dr. Karan Singh has called for quick selection of a successor to Rahul Gandhi by the working committee under the chairmanship of former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. The Tribune reports that India has rejected a United Nations report on human rights abuse in Jammu and Kashmir and has lodged a strong protest, calling it a continuation of the earlier false and motivated narrative. The Hindustan Times informs us that the Rajya Sabha yesterday passed the Aadhaar and Other Laws Amendment Bill 2019, which allows for voluntary use of Aadhaar as proof of identity for consumers to open bank accounts and get mobile phone connections. And with that, it's back to you, Gunmala.
Thank you, Tanvi. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Political crisis in Karnataka further deepens after 2 independent MLAs withdraw their support to the Kumaraswamy government. Speaker to take up resignations of 13 rebel Congress and JDS MLAs today. UAE Foreign Minister to call on Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi this evening. Rain lashes several parts of the country, disrupting normal life. US slaps new duties on steel from China and Mexico. And in cricket, India to take on New Zealand in the first semi-final of the ICC World Cup in Manchester this afternoon. And with that we end the morning news. Have a nice day.